Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dipali, and I work with the UK Visas and Immigration in India, New Delhi. I work as a customer account manager, and as my designation reflects, I manage the relationship with the companies across South and Southeast Asia, and also work with various trade organizations. We are holding this session to make you aware on various visa routes, the options available for you once you decide doing business in the UK, or even if you are going for meetings and then later on when you decide for investing in the UK, you can use various UK visa routes. And we will also be talking about a new route which was launched on the 11th of April. If you might be aware, it is called Global Business Mobility Route, and we will be discussing about the policies around it and how you can utilize it. I must mention here that we won't be able to take any personal case related questions. I'm sorry for that, as it requires a big setup to work on a case. So here we won't be able to do so. However, we will be taking you through various routes, policies, process, and how to go about it. Without further ado, let me introduce you quickly to the speakers of today's session. We have David Ratcliffe, who is Regional Director for South in Southeast Asia. He sits in New Delhi office with UK Visas and Immigration. We have Amy Wheeler, who is Regional Comms Manager for the UK visas. She also covers South and Southeast Asia. We have Roshani Jay Sundara Mores. She is president for the Council for Business with Britain, Sri Lanka, which you might know as CBB. She is also CEO for Link Natural and is also a non-executive director for Kilsme Development Private Limited. Roshani was a former executive vice president at John Kales Holdings. We also have Amina Zayuddin. Sorry, Amina. We also have Amina Zayuddin. She is Vice President for the Council for Business with Britain, Sri Lanka. She is also a Director for Norfolk Foods. I would like to now invite Roshani for her welcoming you all here on the platform.
Thank you, Deepali, and thank you very much, UKVI, for agreeing to do this for the Sri Lankan market. Welcome everybody. Good evening to everybody joining from Sri Lanka and the South Asian region. CBB, as Deepali mentioned, the Council for Business with Britain, is a go-to organization for trade, to facilitation of trade between the UK and Sri Lanka. So we have been operating in Sri Lanka for the last 20 odd years. We work very closely with the UK High Commission here, as well as the Sri Lankan High Commission in the UK. In addition to facilitating trade between the two companies, we also work towards encouraging FDI into Sri Lanka and basically providing a platform for anyone who wants to do business with the UK from this end and from Sri Lanka from the other. So we're very happy to bring this program to you. I hope it will be of use to all of you who are joining and who are looking at connecting with the UK in terms of business and so on. I'd also like to thank UKVI again. This is the second time we're doing this program, and I also want to acknowledge the role DIT played in bringing this program to you. Thank you, Asanti and Michael, for that, and to the team from UKVI joining from India. Without much ado, I would like to hand back to Deepali to continue with the program. So welcome everybody. I hope you enjoy and find this useful.
Thank you, Roshani. May I please request everyone to keep themselves on mute until we reach the Q&A session where you can raise hand and then speak your questions. Thank you. So now I would like to request Dave, who is our regional director, to share a few valuable insights with you all.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Dave Ratcliffe. I'm sitting here in Delhi as Regional Director for UK Visas, and real pleasure to be with you this afternoon. And I really hope that in a short period of time, we can actually do this face-to-face again in Colombo, which I love coming down to. So a warm welcome. It's been a strange year or two, hasn't it, with COVID and all of the sort of openings and closings and openings again. But I think we're starting to get through that. The UK has remained open for business. There's been periods of countries going on to red listing and coming off red listing, but thankfully, with all of us having vaccinations, boosters, etc., we're now able to travel and of course really want to encourage Sri Lanka citizens, businesses to visit the UK to do business and to send their company staff and representatives, etc. So sort of 2021 was a strange year. We only, well, I say only, but we issued 4,000 student visas to Sri Lankan citizens, which I think is actually a pretty good, really, considering what everyone was going through at the time. Work and sort of visas was about 1,100, quite a high percentage working for the NHS, which is fantastic. But only about 3,500 visit visas. So obviously expecting 2022 to be much stronger, and it's one of the things that it's why we like doing these sessions face to face, because we find out what is happening in country, and we find out what the interest is in business travel again, conferences, events, visits, etc. So really great that we can do this face to face. And just on where we are on the visit side, as you know, we're outside of our 15-day working period. We're at about 6 weeks, if I'm honest with you. There is still the priority visa option for Sri Lanka. It is taking about 6 or 7 days, and that's because of the courier time to get the vignette to VFS in Colombo for them to stick it into the passport. But it is obviously a lot quicker than applying for a standard visa and having to wait, let's say, 5 to 6 weeks. So my plea to you all, whichever category, you, friends, relatives, neighbours, etc., apply early, and then you don't need to pay a priority fee, and you will get your visa in time for your intended travel. You can apply up to 3 months in advance, so please take hold of that opportunity. So that's enough from me. I'm going to hand you back to Dipali, and as she said, difficult to answer one-to-one questions, but we will, if anyone has anything specific, drop Dipali or myself a line, and we'll really try to help to get a solution to an issue that you're facing. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Dave. Here we have Amy now, who is the comms director, comms head for the South and Southeast Asia region. She is going to share the visa presentation with you and show you different routes, talk about them, policies around it. So I think she's the one who holds the most of the knowledge amongst us. So here you go, Amy.
Gosh, what an introduction. Thanks, Dipali. As Dipali said, I'm the Regional Communications Manager for South and Southeast Asia. I am just going to share my screen with you. Dipali, if you could just let me know when it's working.
You can. Yeah.
Can you see?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, so as Dipali mentioned, I'm going to be talking you through some of the routes available to you for your work visas. So Dave has already touched upon where we currently are, and it's really important to know where we currently are, to know where we're going and where we hope to go in the future. So as Dave mentioned, we had some good figures from the year ending 2021. 87% of those visa applications from Sri Lankan nationals were granted. And over the year 2021, we saw a huge growth and a 49% increase in visas granted from 2020. Hopefully that will continue as we go into 2022 as well. So the plan for today and this session is to talk through all the available work routes available to you. So as you can see here, these are the work routes, and I'm not going to talk through every single one. I'm not going to talk you through this list now, as we'll talk through them later in the slides. But here is the options, and hopefully most of you are aware of these routes. So as mentioned, we did release a new route and open a new route on the 11th of April this year, so just a couple of weeks ago. And hopefully this session will share with you some of the knowledge about those routes. So the Global Business Mobility route reforms the routes through which overseas businesses can temporarily send employees to the UK for a specific business purpose that could not be done by a resident worker. So the routes bring together, reform and expand a number of previous routes. So they include a sponsored route for businesses to send workers to establish a branch or subsidiary that is more coherent and secure than the existing routes. It enables secondments in relation to high value import and export deals and to oversee substantial investments. Our goal with the Global Business Mobility is to bring all these routes together under a single banner, removing inconsistencies and improving the utility of the routes. So to be eligible for the Global Business Mobility routes, workers assigned to the UK must be an existing employee who has worked for the sending business outside of the UK for a minimum length of time, which is normally around 12 months. They must be working in a job at the appropriate skill level. They must be paid at the appropriate level for the job that they're doing, and they must be sponsored by a business in the UK that is licensed by the Home Office. So the fees for both sponsor licenses and visas under the Global Business Mobility route will be based on the existing fees for work and temporary work routes and will depend upon the type of assignment being undertaken. So for Global Business Mobility specialist workers and senior workers, which replaces the intra-company transfer route, the fees will be the same as for intra-company transfers. All other fees will be the same as the temporary work routes. So this means that the Global Business Mobility Graduate Trainee route, which replaces the ICT Graduate Trainee, will now pay a lower fee that reflects the shorter duration of their visa. So I'm going to talk through the actual routes within Global Business Mobility, and the first route that we're going to look at is the senior or specialist worker. So this is for senior managers and specialist employees who wish to undertake a temporary work assignment in the UK. So this route from the 11th of April replaced the intra-company transfer route. So all of the eligibility can be seen here on the screen for you. That includes things such as the general salary threshold, how long you can stay, and how long you might have to have been working for the company. So the benefits of the specialist worker, it offers continuity for users of the intra-company transfer route under the new senior or specialist worker route. So this route builds on the success of the reformed ICT route that launched in December 2020. The reforms removed a number of barriers in order to allow workers to undertake repeat assignments in the UK and to switch to other work routes if they were localised to the UK without having to leave the country first. An example of somebody who could use this route would be a design firm who has offices in Colombo and London. So the senior manager of the firm is normally resident in Sri Lanka, but regularly needs to work for extended periods in the UK. So the London office would obtain a sponsor licence under the GBM senior or specialist worker route and sponsors the manager for a period of 5 years. So during that 5 years, during that time, they can work between the UK and Sri Lanka as the business needs require. So the next route in Global Business Mobility is the Graduate Trainee Visa. So for overseas workers who wish to be transferred to the UK by their employer for a work placement in the UK as part of a graduate training course leading to a senior, managerial or specialist role. So the graduate trainee route is very similar to the existing intra-company graduate trainee route. It's for workers who are part of a structured graduate training programme for a managerial or specialist role that includes a placement at the employer's UK branch. It shouldn't be confused with the graduate route that allows international students who've just graduated from a UK university to work in the UK after they've completed their studies. So again, you can see all of I've lost my screen. Can you guys see it?
Now we can, yes. We lost you for just a small moment.
Can you see my screen?
Hi, Amy. Yes, no, I'm not able to see your
No.
screen. I mean, there's no presentation on the screen, but it's maybe you can share it again. Yes, now we can.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wonderful. I don't know what happened there. So yeah, you can see all of the eligibility here for anyone that wishes to apply for the graduate trainee visa. And as I mentioned earlier, the fees have been changed to reflect the shorter duration of the visa. In addition to this, businesses are no longer limited to sponsoring a maximum of 20 training placements per year, but rather if they can justify the number of trainee places that they can require, they can get those positions. So an example of this, a case study of this, would be a multinational accountancy firm, for example, who has a graduate trainee programme that enables new graduates to gain experience of their international business by doing placements around the globe. One of their offices is in the UK. So once they've worked outside the UK for the firm for 3 months, successful applicants for the programme can be sponsored under the Global Business Mobility graduate trainee route to do work placements in senior or specialist positions in the UK for up to 1 year. The next route is the UK expansion worker. So this is a very popular route, and this replaces the sole representative of an overseas business. And this is for senior managers and specialist employees who wish to be assigned to the UK temporarily to undertake work related to the expansion of an overseas business in the UK. So businesses can now send up to 5 workers to establish a new branch or subsidiary of an overseas business under the UK expansion worker route, which replaces the sole rep provisions in the representative of an overseas business route. There is no longer a prohibition on business owners using this route. Such businesses will now be licensed from the outset, meaning that once they're trading in the UK, they can easily make use of the business mobility benefits offered by other global business mobility routes. So UK expansion worker visa applicants will need to be currently working for a business or organisation that is linked to their UK sponsor by common ownership or control, or by a joint venture on which they're sponsored to work. They must have worked outside the UK for the linked business or organisation for a cumulative period of at least 12 months, unless they're a high earner earning £73,900 per year or more. So an example of this: an electric car manufacturer wishes to expand its operations to the UK. It's been operating for 3 years, but doesn't yet have a presence in the UK. After undertaking to prepare work to identify premises for their new plant and making arrangements with suppliers and contractors, they apply for a sponsor licence under the GBM UK expansion worker route. They initially send a senior executive to manage the UK subsidiary during the pre-trading period and during its initial period of operation. Once the executive has been granted their visa, they sponsor 4 additional senior managers and specialists, including a chief engineer and a HR director. Once the business has been established and is trading, they add the skilled worker category to their licence and sponsor the 3 UK expansion workers to switch to that route so that they can be localised to the UK on a permanent basis, settling after 5 years on that route. The next route we'll look at is the service supplier. So this is for service suppliers who need to undertake a temporary assignment in the UK to provide services covered by one of the UK's international trade commitments. So on the service supplier route, which replaces the service supplier provisions in the temporary work international agreement route, workers will no longer have to demonstrate extensive experience and qualifications when undertaking jobs that are RQF level 6 or above. So all service suppliers will have to be given greater flexibility to return to the UK to deliver services more frequently within a 6-year period, and subcontractors can now more readily use this route. So again, all of the eligible criteria are here for you. An example of somebody who might be able to use this route would be an IT firm who has a contract to develop a new payment handling system for a UK bank. So they don't have a UK presence, but the UK bank has a sponsor license already and so can add the GBM service supplier category to that license for free. The contract is covered by the sectoral commitment on IT services within UK trade commitments. The UK bank can sponsor the IT service firm's workers to come to do client-side work related to the delivery of the project, such as requirements gathering or user testing. The final route within global business mobility is a secondment worker, and this is a new immigration route. So this route allows overseas businesses to send workers to UK businesses in connection with high value contracts for goods or investments, allowing new forms of collaborative working between businesses. As you can see here, the secondments must be connected to contracts worth at least £50 million, so quite high value. And workers must be an existing employee with at least 12 months employment outside of the UK. An example of this would be a telecoms business that has a contract with a UK supplier for development of a comms satellite, and they need to send some of their own engineers on a year-long secondment to collaborate on the project. The contract has a value of £98 million and is therefore eligible for the GBM secondment worker route. So all routes replaced by global business mobility will be closed to new applicants. So workers who have permission on such routes will be able to remain until their permission expires and will ensure that they'll not be unfairly disadvantaged by the reforms that we're making. Workers on the global business mobility route will be able to switch to other visas without leaving the UK. As now, should a business decide to make a worker's assignment permanent, they'll be able to sponsor them to switch to the skilled worker route, which then leads to settlement. All of these routes are designed to enable international firms to temporarily assign workers to the UK for specific business reasons. Routes that lead to settlement typically have requirements such as English languages, which are incompatible with the needs of businesses. So we'll talk now about the points-based system. And in January 2021, free movement ended and the Home Office introduced a single points-based immigration system that applies to all nationalities who wish to come to work in the UK. So under this points-based system, anyone coming to the UK for work must meet a specific set of requirements for which they'll score points. Visas are then awarded to those who gain enough points. This system provides flexible arrangements for UK employers to recruit skilled workers from around the world through a number of different immigration routes. The system is simplified, it's digital, and it has improved policies and processes. It's fairer, firmer, and skills-led, and will hopefully deliver a thriving economy for decades to come. Importantly, the new global system treats people from every part of the world equally, and it focuses on attracting high-skilled workers who can contribute to the economy. So it prioritises skills a person has to offer and not the country where they come from. So the top line is that anyone coming to the UK for work needs to demonstrate that they meet a specific set of requirements for which they'll score points. So the core requirements are that the applicant must have an offer of a job from an approved Home Office sponsor. They must speak English to an acceptable standard, and the job must be at the minimal skill level. Most crucially, workers do not need to hold a formal qualification. It's the skill level of the job that they'll be doing, which is the most important thing. So the breakdown of points, they will get 50 points by meeting the mandatory criteria, which is their job offer. A job offer skill level in English language, which will offer that 70 points. So the 50 is for the mandatory job offer, and then they can have 20 tradable points through a combination of points for their salary, a job in the UK shortage occupation list, or a relevant qualification. So the difference between this new points-based system and the old Tier 2 routes, the cap on numbers on these routes has been suspended. So on the Tier 2 routes, the resident labour market test has also been removed. The skills threshold has been expanded and the salary threshold has been lowered. The 12-month calling off period and 6-year maximum length of stay in the route have also been removed. So for skilled workers who wish to come to the UK, eligibility is seen here on the screen. So as I said, a skilled worker visa allows you to come to or stay in the UK to do an eligible job with an approved employer. So you must have a confirmed job offer before you apply for that visa. You must pay for your immigration health surcharge when you apply for your visa, and the visa fee ranges from £610 to £1,408. You could stay on this route for 5 years, and it is a route that can lead to settlement if that's what you wish to do. Another work route available to you, I hope I'm not bombarding you all with way too much information here. The next route is the global talent route. So the global talent route enables the most highly skilled individuals who can achieve the required number of points to enter the UK without a job offer if they're endorsed by a recognised UK body as approved by the Home Office. So applicants can work in the UK on a global talent visa if they've won an eligible award. So these prizes have been identified by the global talent endorsing bodies as demonstrating exceptional talent. You don't need to be a licensed sponsor to employ a migrant under this route. So this route is designed to attract recognised global leaders and promising individuals in science, humanities, engineering, the arts and digital technology. Top scientists and researchers can benefit from a quicker endorsement process as part of a fast-track STEM scheme. So as of January 2021, the list of approved endorsing bodies are those such as the Royal Society for Science and Medicine, the Royal Academy of Engineering, the British Academy for Humanities, UK Research and Innovation for Science and Research, Tech Nation for Digital Technology, and Arts Council England for Arts and Culture. So the startup and innovator routes are designed to attract entrepreneurial talent and innovative, scalable business ideas to the UK. The startup visa is for those setting up an innovative business for the first time, and the innovator route is for those with industry experience and at least £50,000 funding. Applicants can be individuals or they can be teams. So within the startup route, there's this real focus on bringing your idea to the UK. It must be a new idea, it must be innovative, and it must be viable. So it must show within your application, you must show that your business idea has potential for growth. You can't join a business that's already training, and it must be an original idea that's different from anything else on the market at the moment. You must also have to be endorsed by an authorised body, such as a higher education provider or a business organisation with a history of supporting UK entrepreneurs. The stay on this visa is valid for 2 years, and it's not a route that leads to settlement. As I just said, the Innovator Visa is very similar, but it requires that initial £50,000 of investment funding. This is a route that can lead to settlement after 3 years, and again, it's got that real focus on the new, innovative and viable ideas that you're bringing to the UK market within your business. So not to be confused with the Global Business Mobility graduate trainee routes, this graduate route is slightly different. So this graduate visa gives permission to stay in the UK for at least 2 years after successfully completing a course in the UK. So this is for applicants that hold student permissions at the time of their application. Those joining this route can join any job. It can cover their period of 2 years or 3 years for doctoral students. And during that 2 years, they can seek any kind of work. So they don't have to have a sponsor when they're applying for this job. It might mean that somebody graduates from their UK university, they join an entry-level job, work their way up. At the end of those 2 years, it might be that they've gained real good skills and they're looking now to get their skilled worker visa if a route to settlement is what they're after. And finally, I'll just talk about the short-term business visit. So you can visit the UK as a standard visitor for tourism, business, study, courses up to 6 months, and other permitted activities. So other permitted activities are listed just here for you. And like I said, you can apply for this under the standard visitor visa. So as Dave has already mentioned, it is worth considering that we are experiencing delays at the moment. So if you are to apply for a visitor visa, just bear in mind that you should apply as early as you possibly can do, and make sure that you are coming to meet all of this, not all of this criteria, but this criteria listed here. So you can stay for 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years. And again, just bear in mind that we are currently experiencing delays. Okay, so employing a worker. So we've engaged extensively and listened carefully to businesses and have made a number of changes to the ways that you can sponsor a worker from overseas. So some of these changes are listed here for you. As well as this, the requirements for obtaining a global business mobility sponsor licence will build on the existing system used in the intra-company routes. So businesses will need to show that they've got a UK presence and have qualifying links to an overseas business from whom they'll receive assignees. They'll need to show they have suitable key personnel who will be responsible for the licence and have systems in place to meet their sponsor duties, such as record keeping, reporting changes affecting their business or their assigned workers. Where a business is seeking a sponsor licence for the purpose of sending workers in connection with their UK expansion, we've adjusted the requirements to take account of the fact that they do not yet have a UK trading presence. Instead, we ask them to show that they have just a minimal UK footprint and also an overseas trading presence that is capable of expanding to the UK. So if you are planning on becoming a sponsor under the current system, what does this entail? So to become a sponsor, the first port of call is to check your planned vacancies are eligible under one of our licenses. And you can do that through gov.uk by searching UK Visa, Sponsorship, Employers. Before you start, it's a good idea to make sure you have the documents required, and these do vary depending upon the nature of your organisation. So in most cases, you must provide at least 4 documents, and you can check those documents on gov.uk. Those documents might include things such as a staff organogram of your management structure or financial accounts. To get a licence, you must not have any unspent criminal convictions for immigration offences or certain other crimes such as fraud. This is all explained in the guidance on gov.uk. So you will apply online for your licence and pay the appropriate licence fee, which depends upon the size of your business and roles you're planning to fill. We'll ask you to confirm how many staff you plan to recruit through the sponsorship system for the current financial year. If successful, the licence will be valid for 4 years. And in terms of actually recruiting, once you've selected a candidate, they must make a visa application to work in the UK. So the future of visas. As part of their Future Borders and Immigration System, the UK government is implementing a suite of changes to transform the way in which we manage people crossing the UK border. The vision is that the UK border will provide for a fully digital end-to-end user journey that responds to the needs of the customer and enhances both the security and clearance of legitimate passengers. As part of our phased delivery to 2025, the UK government has committed to introducing a universal permission to travel requirement, which will require everyone wishing to travel to the UK to seek permission in advance of their travel. We'll be introducing an electronic travel authorisation scheme for those passengers visiting the UK who don't currently need a visa for short stays or do not have an immigration status prior to travelling. As part of the changes, we'll also be introducing new routes and continuing to improve the visa routes offered to workers wishing to come to the UK. As you'll have seen in the last 2 years, a lot of changes have been made to routes, and one of the big changes that happened earlier this year is the closure of the investor visa route. So that was closed with immediate effect on the 17th of February 2022. The route was under constant review, and some cases had given rise to security concerns, including people acquiring their wealth illegitimately and being associated with wider corruption. From the closure of this route, we will be making reforms to the Innovator route as part of the new points-based immigration system to provide an ambitious investment route which works more effectively in support of the UK's economy. We also have 2 additional routes that we're launching this year. The first route is the high potential individual. The second is the scale up. So as you can see on here, the high potential individual route will be launching in May 2022 and will make it as simple as possible for internationally mobile students who demonstrate high potential to come to the UK. The next route we'll be launching is the scale up route, and that will be launched in August 2022. And this will enable UK companies who are in a sustained period of growth to recruit the individuals they need in highly skilled roles. I'm sure you'll all be very pleased to hear that that is my final slide. So I will open back up to Dipali, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Amy. That was, I think, lots and lots of insights to absorb for the public, but I'm sure they might have picked the lines which are necessary for them, which are important. And I hope everybody got the overview of the UK visas, like the routes and what is the new launch and how you can go about it. So I think the best part about the UK visas is I really like the visitor visa because it allows you to do business, to do short-term study, and also to do your meetings and deal signing or sightseeing. The business site you can select. So I think that's a pretty valuable route if you are just planning to travel for business meetings and want to have tourism side by side or a short-term study for the 6 months. So thank you, Amy, for that. I hope people were able to, absorb this presentation. And I think we can open the floor for questions. And if you can start typing or raise your hands and speak, both we can do both ways. No questions so far. So I can see one hand which is raised. I can't see the name here. You can go ahead, please. So this is Mano. Yes, Mano, please. You can unmute yourself and speak up. We are not able to hear you. Are you on mute, Mano?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, now we can.
Yeah, would you be able to share with us the slides just Amy explained?
Amy, they are asking for sharing the slides. I think we can later on share the PDF version of it.
Yeah, not a problem.
Right, because we need to look at it like what the most suitable ones. So I'm kind of looking for a short-term work, like visiting for a maybe 1 year, work and come back like that. Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem. We can share the slides and you can find the most suitable that you think might be appropriate to your level of work.
Yeah, and also the cheapest one. That's most important.
No, so the rates, I mean, you can just go online and see the rates for each kind of visa. The visa fee is different for each category, and plus then it also depends on the number of years, the duration you take for. It's not one size fit all. You might want to take a 2 years visa, visitor visa, or a 6 months or a 10 years. So it entirely depends on your requirement.
All right. Okay. So thank you.
Sanji has asked the duration for obtaining a student visa. I think it remains 3 weeks for most of the categories. However, if we are facing delays, then we really can't give you a definite timeline, but I think it is 3 weeks. So visit visa again, Sonali, is 3 weeks, which is 15 working days, we say. You have to count only the working days. However, as Dave mentioned in his introduction, that currently we are experiencing huge surge, hence the visit visas are delayed for most of the categories.
Just off the back of that, I would just say, if you know that you are visiting, as Dave said, just make sure that you plan ahead. And the same with student visas as well. You can actually apply 6 months ahead of your student visas. So as soon as you've got everything ready, as soon as you've got all your paperwork, documentation, everything ready, put in those applications so that you can make sure it's there for your date of travel.
Priyanka, what type of visa is applicable for worker? We really won't be able to comment on that, because you have to decide the category of the visa as per your requirements. So every visa has a different, visa requirements and circumstances attached to it. So you will have to really go through the categories and read about them to know which visa might suit for your workers. Priority visa process. So Sonali, priority visa process is when one pays higher fees and then get the visa assessed earlier. Like 5 days is the priority, 5 working days is the priority timelines, and end of next working day is the super priority timelines. However, because the visa is assessed here in India, New Delhi, and then couriered through air services to different countries, so it might take longer. I'm not sure currently if it is open in Sri Lanka, though. I am really doubtful if priority and super priority is open in Sri Lanka. Would you know that, Amy? Or Dave, do you know that?
Priority is for visits. Priority is still open. Super priority we can't do because of, as you just said, the courier routes. But certainly priority is still an option. You have to do it when you make the application online. You can't change your mind and do it at the visa application centre.
Thank you, Dave. Manasir, you can check the cost for each kind of visa category online. I have shared the link on the top of the chat. If you can just go for which category you are looking for, all the. I think I have shared the link for the work visas. However, you will be able to see similar link. You will see you can check the other routes as well. Settlement visa you are asking about. Priority service visitor visa is 5 working days. So you have to deduct the weekends and holidays. Vaccine requirement you can read online. So there are vaccine certification which are accepted by the UK. So you have to read if the Sri Lankan vaccine is acceptable by the UK. So that link I'll just post. Maybe we can start posting, Amy, few links for them, like COVID restrictions, or maybe COVID vaccines which are accepted. Roshni, a BEP scheme is a scheme which is a reduced or no document scheme which I run in India and Sri Lanka, and I plan to expand it to other CESA regions as well. But unfortunately, as of now, we don't have a green signal to enroll new companies. So BEP scheme is on hold currently. I cannot take the new companies. However, I'm hoping that I should be able to take after the discussions with the Home Office, and once the Home Office allows that the scheme is open, to take the new companies on it. So it is basically a no documents or a reduced document scheme, where we have a small procedure through which a company applies for their employees, to go on a business visit visa. It doesn't apply for the PBS routes, but only for the business visit visa. So you don't submit a lot of documents. So there is very reduced document list I have produced for the companies. But unfortunately, as I said, it is closed. So I'm really sorry that I can't take the new companies on it. Faisal, for the business development, we don't work. We are UKVI, and we work on the very, very different side. Porter, and you want to work with the UK clients, you want to go to the UK and improve your UK market, and what is the best. So as Amy has already given a presentation on various visa routes, and we've also discussed that in the visitor route, you can do the business where you are not paid. It's an unpaid business, like business meetings, your document signing and these kind of things, or discussing business with the clients. Business development is one of the activity you can do in a visitor visa. However, we cannot suggest you like what you should go and how you should go about. We can only tell you that you can do these activities in the business visitor visa. So, and you can also do tourism with it, as I said earlier. So feel free to apply for it and do your business development yourself. So Amy has posted a link. If you all can just see which COVID rules UK is following and which of the vaccines are now available. So there's a question, is applying for sponsor license very complicated? So I really, Amy, do you want to take that?
I would say follow all of the guidance on gov.uk. Hopefully you won't go wrong. Everything should be quite self-explanatory, and everything, including the forms, advice, will be found on gov.uk. I can pop a link on there if you want me to, just for a bit of additional help.
Yeah, so I won't say that any of the process, whether it is sponsorship license or anything, is very complicated. For us, we don't find it complicated because you just have to keep your documents ready, and there's a process online. Everything is online, so it is so easy that you can self-upload and utilize those services rather than paying at the VFS. Malsha, you are registered under BEP. I'm aware. You get BEP doesn't promise any priority processing, or it is only, I think we have already communicated to you, I remember last week, that BEP is only a reduced document scheme. It neither promises you priority processing nor promises you positive result or positive outcome of the visa application. This we've made this clear to you last week also, I think. So for attending a university, there's a question, Amy, if someone is planning to attend a university in the process of finalizing the university, can he apply for a visitor visa and attend the university? Sanjay, can you unmute yourself and please speak up, because your question is not very clear to me.
Sure. Actually, since you mentioned that the student visa could take more than 3 weeks due to the situation now, I just want to know until, because by the time you finalize the university, if the duration is not enough to obtain the visa, can they apply for a visitor visa now itself and attend to the first 6 months of the university using that?
No, no.
No, because the what you would fall under as a visitor is completely different to what you would fall under as a student. So you would have different permissions, you'd be able to do completely different things as well. So you wouldn't be granted that visit visa status if you were to come to study, because it's two completely different things.
So, Sanjay, it is like you can only do short-term course of 6 months in the visitor visa, which you can't do a full course of a year or 2 years, something like that in the visitor visa. And for the student route, you have to apply for the student visa only. However, we've not said that student visas are delayed as yet. We are mostly talking about the work visas and the visitor route right now. We've not commented anything on the student visa. They are not delayed. So you should always try to apply prior and taking good time in hand for any kind of visa, I would suggest. Faisal, do you want to ask? Yeah, sorry.
Sorry,
Faisal, I can
say,
see
and
your
for the
hand
reason
raised.
for your visit as well. Sorry.
Faisal, I can see you have raised your hand. Would you like to unmute yourself and speak up?
Hello, yeah, can you hear me on?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I asked one question in already in the chat. Actually, we are into seafood export from Sri Lanka to other countries. So we been offered by one UK legal lawyer that we have a business, some expansion visa option over there, which if we have a good record of last 2-3 years, we can expand our business there and we can send minor shareholder or a staff to UK. So I I'm thinking of rather than that now with the tourist visa. So if I go there, if I apply and go there, am I able to do my business development parts? That means the meetings and getting orders and executing orders, shipping from Sri Lanka, without taking any payments. You know, everything comes to bank. But all the other parts of my business development, am I able to do within visitor visa?
Is there a reason that you wouldn't apply then for the UK expansion visa? Why are you looking at going for a visitor visa over there?
Yeah, because it's I got their contacts via LinkedIn because I'm not, very much confident about their service, or the amount which they are asking is very high. And but we have customers in UK, and we are mainly working in the fresh market, so we need a present over there. That's our biggest problem. We had done one or two shipments earlier, but we want to have the present. And once I come across that option, and now with this webinar I come across that the visit visa option, so I'm thinking of it. Actually that visa they asked me about 30,000 pounds, which I have to pay for them total to get it done for that legal service.
So, in all, what I can say is like if you're going for a, business visitor visa or a tourist visa, you can do your business meetings, you can do your business developments. However, you cannot do a paid work. I mean, like you cannot get paid for that, whatever you're doing. You can do meetings, of course. Business visitor visa is for doing your meetings and business development, like any unpaid work, I can say.
Okay, I got
It's
it.
not
Okay.
for this UK presence that you said. It's not to have that constant UK presence. That wouldn't be a visitor. That would need to come under a worker category.
If you're talking about investing in the UK and having an existence in the UK, then of course visitor visa won't work for you. You have to go through the global mobile, like different routes which are under global mobility, which Amy explained. And then, because I assume once you decide to invest in the UK, you will want to have an office or some presence in the UK, right? For that, visitor route won't work.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I don't see any more questions, so I assume that this we've come to the end of this session. Any last minute hands up? I'm happy to take. Yes,
Hello?
yes, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm coming. So, yeah, what I want to know, there are two questions regarding the startup visa. I think there are, because I missed the chat on the way. Are there two categories? I mean, without showing any capital, uh, something is there that we can invest for a startup visa.
So I think in
No, I
the
mean,
I think your question is around startup and innovator, right?
yes.
Yeah. So innovator route, you need minimum investment. You have to show the investment funds around 50,000 pounds. Whereas in startup, there is no limit of showing, or there's no restriction on showing funds. But
I mean, that means showing funds is not mandatory, right? Showing funds is not mandatory for startup visa.
Yeah, but you have to be endorsed by an authorizing body.
Yeah. So how can we find these endorsing bodies? Are there? They should be UK-based companies, right?
Yep, again, everything, or endorsing bodies, a list of endorsing bodies, I think can be found on gov.uk. I'll just try and find it now for you.
All right. Okay, madam. So the second question, when it comes to this charity work visa, now suppose now there is a charity in UK, they would like to do a charity work connecting, with Sri Lanka. For that purpose, if they are going to sponsor a person from a charity in Sri Lanka, is it allowed for them to go and work there? I'll tell you again, there is a charity in UK, right? So they are going to do a project with Sri Lanka. It's something online education, something. So they want to recruit a person from a charity, their partner charity in Sri Lanka. So if they sponsor, the UK charity sponsors the partners here in Sri Lanka, can they go and work in UK under charity visa?
I am not sure about this. I'm not sure about the charity visa, which charity visa you're talking about. I mean, at least I don't have the knowledge about it.
But that
Dave
is
and
that
Amy.
is
Oh, so you're talking about temporary work, charity work visa. Okay, got it. I think you're talking about this category.
yes, 6 months.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe you can just, so I'm sending the link here. You can go through the link and assess where you stand regarding this. Does
Right.
it work for you? Yeah. So I've just posted a link, and the above link is for the somebody asked about the endorsing body for startups. So here is the list for endorsing bodies which I have posted, and after that is the temporary charity worker visa.
Yes.
So you can just
Right.
go through that. Yeah.
Okay. Is there, if we have any issues that the business, the UK Sri Lanka Business Council, we can get some advice from them, right?
Sorry, from?
If you have any issues or any instructions,
So
doing
so I am
business.
sure. No, so I'm sure after. So if you're talking about doing business in the UK, that means investment and trade part that is looked after by the Department for International Trade. We have the staff from DIT present here. If you're talking about the visa process, so I have sent you the link. I am very sure this link will provide you enough guidance. You will not require any more help from anybody. You don't even require any agent after that.
Okay. Understood. Thank you very much.
Welcome. There's one more hands up I can see here. If you can please unmute yourself and speak because there's no name, there's a number here. Mafaz.
Yes.
Mafaz, I think.
Hi, Deepa. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Actually, we are a travel agent in Sri Lanka, and we have guests from UK. We being from UK, the inbound tourists. And is it possible to presence then put up our travel agent in the UK as a startup or innovative visa category? So which one is better?
Sorry, your question is not very clear. I can only make out that you are a travel agent.
Yeah, travel agent. And what I'm asking is it possible to put up expand our travel agent office in UK? And you said there is a two visas category, like one is innovative and the other startup. For startup, we need some kind of what do you call this?
Innovative. So so there has to be, for the startup and innovator route, you have to be endorsed by an endorsing body. Then the visa part is so this visa categories are divided into two parts. First part is you apply with the endorsing body to get yourself endorsed. Once they endorse you, they give you a letter of endorsement, then you apply for a visa. However, I think for the endorsement, they will surely judge you on your innovativeness and viability of your business. And as you would know, the earlier sole representative, so it has been converted into a new route now, a UK visa expansion. So you can check if that route will be more suitable for you than the innovator and startup. So there are various routes, just that you have to see where your business fits in. Your business and your circumstances fits into the whole of the visa categories.
Okay. So is there any office over here, agent in Sri Lanka, so we can physically go and meet them and discuss with this matter?
No, actually, UK, being the UKVI also, we don't suggest, legally, we are not able to suggest you the categories. Even if we are present in Sri Lanka, I'm really sorry that we won't be able to suggest on the right category for you, because that's the work of professional lawyers, not us. That's not for us, actually. So you can feel free to, approach any of the professional lawyers in your country and speak to them on that. They will be able to suggest you the right category as per your business model.
So I'm asking the last question. Once I decide a category, so how is there any I need a lawyer to proceed that, or I can do it myself?
You can do it yourself. That's up to you. If you find it easy, if you find it understandable, you can do it yourself.
All right.
It's up to you. It's a personal choice, I would say.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think we've almost come to the end of our session and we have tried our best to respond to your queries. Thank you so much for your all of you to attend, for giving your time in attending this event. I would like to now call upon Amina for giving a vote of thanks to all the guests.
Hi, Dipali. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Council for Business of Britain, the CBB, I would like to give a brief vote of thanks. Thank you for UKVI and the British High Commission in Sri Lanka, the Department of International Trade, in association with SLASCOM for putting this very informative session together. We would like to thank our panelist speakers, David, Amy, and our moderator, Dipali, for taking the time out of their very busy schedules to come on board and provide a very in-depth and useful session. And thank you to all the audience for your participation, and I hope you enjoyed this webinar and learnt as much as you can from it. The CBB would like to thank our corporate sponsor, John Keel's Properties. And if you are to keep abreast of doing business in the UK and in Sri Lanka and learn more from more informative sessions from industry leaders, please join the CBB. You can email Dinithi, our secretary at the Chamber of Commerce. Her details will be pasted in the chat box now. I'll just do that for you. You can also follow us on our Facebook and LinkedIn pages. We have a website, cbbsl.com. This event has been recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel, which you can also subscribe to. Let me just paste here. So thank you very much, everyone, and we hope to see you again very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashani. Thank you, audience, Dave, Amy, for your time. And thank you, Amina, especially because it's the second time we are doing the event. And I
Yes.
hope the situation normalizes and we are able to physically do the event in your country.
Second year in a row online, but yeah, there's always hope for the third one.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very
Have a nice
much.
day.